right, the time is 5:13 p.m. on this Tuesday, June 18th. We'll now call this TIRZ meeting to order. We'll now have, could we please get roll call?
Inglesby,
Here.
Mitchell,
Here.
Rizzo,
Present.
Heiser,
Here.
Zuniga,
Present.
Harris,
Here.
Parsley, Tobias,
Present.
Cohen.
Here.
All right, we've got 8 members present, I believe. We have a quorum. At this time, we will now open up citizen comments period. Anyone in the audience wishing to come forward and speak on any item, please do so. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes and you direct those comments to the mayor and council. Finally, we ask that you fill out a citizen's comment form and submit that to either myself or the city secretary. Citizen comment period is now open. Seeing none, we will now close the citizen comment period. First, consider an possible action item. Consider approval of the construction contract of Packsaddle Management LLC in an amount not to exceed $1,286,980, which includes a 5% contingency for the construction of Verde Parking Lot Project. Presenter is Rosie Truelove. Thank you.
Good evening, Rosie Truelove, Director of Administrative Services. We have one item for you tonight, and that is consideration of the award of the construction contract for the Verde Parking Lot. As Verde Park was nearing completion and opening, the need for a shared parking lot for the area became apparent. On May 18th of 2023, the board directed staff to put together a cost analysis for a temporary surface level parking lot at Verde Park. On June 22nd, 2023, the board directed staff to proceed with the whole track contract options of $1 million and to bring an alternative proposal to include charging stations. September 7th, 2023, the board approved the contract for 30% design with WGI Inc. And on March 7th of this year, the board approved the contract to complete the design with WGI Inc. The site is approximately 1.55 acres, located in the northeast corner of Burnham and Doherty. Approximately 142 parking spaces will be included, with 5 accessible parking spaces, including 1 that is van accessible, 6 proposed EV charging spaces, plus an additional 6 future spaces. It will include lighting, landscaping, and irrigation, and a streetscape is proposed for the south frontage of Doherty and the west frontage up to Verde Parking Lot of Burnham. You can see the site plan image below or on the screen showing the anticipated layout. The bid results, the project was advertised on May 15th, 2024 and closed on June 6th. We received 2 bids for the construction project. The 2 bids varied from $1.225,695 million to $1,399,601.42, with Packsaddle Management LLC being the lowest bidder. For options, we have approval of the construction contract with Packsaddle Management to perform all the work required for the construction of the Verde Parking Lot Project as option 1, and option 2 is to not approve the contract. And staff's recommendation is to award the contract to Packsaddle. And I'm here with Leon Barba, City Engineer, if there are any questions.
Do we have any questions?
I had a quick question, Rizzo.
Go ahead. Councilman Zuniga?
Hello. When I look at the schematic, I think I'm only seeing 5 wheelchair accessible spots. Is that what's going to be proposed, or will there be additional marked handicap and wheelchair spaces?
I think the plans included 5 accessible spaces, one of which is accessible by a van, as I recall.
Is that sufficient or adequate in 146 parking space, Leon, by code and by ADA compliances?
Good afternoon, Board. Leon Barba, City Engineer. Council member, typically it's 1 per 25 spaces, and up to, I think, about 200 after that to use a percentage. So we have 142, so really that's all we need is 5 at this point.
Okay, that was my question about that.
We have Councilmember Tobias?
Yes.
To add on to that handicap spot, as you know, most vehicles nowadays have the ramps that connect to the vans. I know our family has one of those. Are those spaces going to be kind of like what we see at larger facilities like at Bobcat Stadium and other places where you have the vans pull up and you have this space on the right and also on the left? Do you know exactly what the designs are going to look like, or are they just going to be marked as just handicap? Because I see that you're saying it's only for one van, but I know there's a lot of vehicles that have the mobile wheelchair facilities on that.
Normally, it's one 8-foot space for the van itself, then you have another 8-foot space for the, where they can get the ramp down. So
Okay.
typically, that's how they've been designed, but you can also add one on the other side if you want, but in this case, we only put one on one side.
Okay.
Would you want for us to look at that?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, if you can look, it's kind of hard to see the detail, but you can see the accessibles for the van is on the
Bottom left.
bottom left, and there's a space in between that and the next parking spaces.
Okay. Because this is an area where we're trying to bring a regional draw, especially for, a couple of years from now when we have our businesses. So I wanted to see where we at as far as adding those spaces, especially those vans, because I think it would be beneficial for those that do have that motorized wheelchair to have those spaces available.
We will do that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes. Commissioner.
So are the EV stations with the handicap? Is that whole section
Yeah.
handicap and EV station together?
You can see on the left side of the rendering, there's a group that says EV kind of at the back end of the parking spot. And then there are some that are labeled future EV. So the ones that are being built out are on that same line as where the handicap spaces are. And then we have capacity for future EVs charging spots if we need them.
Okay.
There should be 8 EV spaces on the west side of the picture there on your left side. 6 will be activated, and there's 2 on the west side, as I mentioned, two left there on the west side. And there's 4 additional on the south side. So there'll be a total of 6 additional spaces if we ever need to convert those to EV spaces. What they'll do on those, they'll just put the conduit in a pull string. So if it ever decision's ever made to expand it, that they'll be able to pull the string with the wires. And that box panel that you see at the lower left corner, that panel there will have extra space for the breakers that are needed for that facility.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Motions?
I guess just when would be the completion date, Mr. Rizzo? Full completion, Leon?
This contract has 96 calendar day project. So we're going to push to get the contractor on board as soon as possible. I'm hoping within a couple of weeks to get them started if possible. We've already asked the project managers to get with the contractor, come up with a schedule, and try to get this project done within that 96 days. That 96 days, let's assume we start at the beginning of July. That'll push us right up at October. So we're shooting for the October 8th, October 15th date that I think we've been asked to try to get accomplished. So that's our plan, to try to push it as fast as we can and get it done by then.
Thank you.
Any motions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve agenda item 1.
Second? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heiser, second by Councilmember Harris. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Oh, we don't have any minutes. You don't have any minutes. Already asked. Trust me. All right. I guess that's it, right? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. So moved. We are adjourned.